On a very specific part of the underground, in the eastern side of the Shifra River, a tarnished warrior gets up after resting at the site of grace. He walks toward his destination, sneaking behind the other residents here at the Lord of Blood's palace. He takes the elevator and grips tightly on his curved greatsword as it starts to move up. As the ancient machine rumbles and shakes, he closes his eyes, remembering everything that has happened since he started his journey. It was hard to believe that this, right now, is probably his last and most important mission. On what seems a lifetime ago, a small settlement of Kaiden mercenaries was thriving in Limgrave. Everybody knew the reputation of the loyal mercenaries of Kaiden, and Limgrave was full of noblemen, determined to investigate every nook and cranny in search of the legendary Great Runes. They often hired those mercenaries for protection during expeditions, as many used to travel to dangerous areas. But one expedition in particular would have a very different and impactful result. This expedition was commissioned by none other than Sir Gideon Ofnir, the All-Knowing. Gideon requested the use of as many mercenaries as possible, instead of the usual duo or trio, as they would venture by themselves into an underground cave looking for an ancient relic related to a forgotten god. The stakes were high, as he hired the service of 13 Kaiden mercenaries for this expedition. The fierce Kaiden sellswords were very confident in their success, each of them having faced alone many powerful warriors before and survived, so together they believed to be unstoppable. Unfortunately, things would not go so well, as they would not be fighting warriors. As they reached Saint's Bridge, they had to ditch their horses and climb down the cliff to reach the high road cave. On the dangerous way down, some got injured, but the company had to face the aggressive land octopi residents, leaving them no time to heal. Battered, but still determined, they entered the cave, where they were attacked by hungry white wolves and swarms of giant bats inside. They fought with everything they got, but were not used to fighting this kind of enemies. The mission was going badly, and one by one the mercenaries fell. Only one barely survived. His name was Magnus. Magnus was not much different than his companions. Skilled with the dismounter curved sword, expert in horse riding, and fierce in combat. But he had a power that he only discovered at that time in the cave. He could see spirits. The spirit of his fallen comrade, Arni, encouraged him not to give up on the mission. The Kaiden way was to only return with success. Arni instructed Magnus to burn his body, find the ancient relic, and return with his ashes to the settlement. With determination and the help of his spirit friend, Magnus was able to eliminate the remaining beasts, destroy the golem in the underground, and collect the Blue Dancer charm. When Gideon received the ancient treasure, he was not only glad, he became very interested in the only surviving mercenary. Not only has he shown bravery and loyalty, but having someone able to interact with spirits by his side would help in his search for knowledge. He knighted Magnus and gave him a new armor, one with his own sigil. Magnus was now an eye, a trusted warrior sent on a mission to obtain information for the All-Knowing. The eyes of the All-Knowing were sent on missions on specific locations to obtain specific information, but to return with as much knowledge as possible. Since Gideon came to the lands between, many eyes have been doing his bidding. Some have perished, others have abandoned their duty. but Magnus had the loyalty of the Kaiden. Battle was not a priority anymore. Now he had to study, to understand, and so he did. He changed and adapted. After many successful missions, Gideon trusted Magnus on a very important one, a mission about a demigod, a mission to find Miquella, twin sister of Malenia. Magnus spent all his time in this search. He was the all-knowing brute, the one who brought destruction to the Albinoric village in search of the Halictry medallion. He defeated General Radon alongside mighty warriors, setting free the destiny of the gods and the stars. He found the pulley crossbow in Mount Gelmir, assuming its intricate design might show a hint of the demigod's location. He studied the Golden Order and the incantations related to Miquella, trying to trace his steps. He conquered Castle Sol, completing the secret medallion and arriving in the Halictry itself. He explored through Elphael, and after obtaining the spirit ashes of Cleanrot Knight Finlay, learned that Malenia resided at the roots of the tree, where Miquella's cocoon used to be. He was the one that fought Malenia beside the spirit of his friend Arni, the Kaiden mercenary, and learned of the kidnapping of the demigod. After further investigation, he reached the Mogwin's palace and defeated the Lord of Blood with Finlay by his side. In a pelvic bone altar, he saw Miquella's cocoon. At last, Magnus has fulfilled his mission. Upon returning, the All-Knowing gifted Magnus heavily for all his findings. These incantations and a special cookbook will be very welcome in your next mission, Gideon said. When Magnus showed confusion, he explained that a mysterious visitor came to thank Magnus for granting access to their master, Miquella. For this new mission, Magnus should meet the mysterious visitor at Mogwin's palace and embark on a new journey to truly find Miquella. With the new permission given, Magnus bowed once more to his master and departed. As the elevator to the palace reached its peak, Magnus wondered where this expedition would bring him. He looked to the cocoon from very far away and took a deep breath. He could feel the presence of his spirit friends by his side, encouraging him. Wherever he was going to go, he would not be alone. And with confidence, he stepped inside Mogwin's palace towards a new adventure. Hi guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to add a little bit of post commentary about this character and the build that I made for it. The idea of this character is just to experience the new stuff of the DLC. Okay, so there's not a proper build for him. He's level 150 and the stats are spread everywhere so that I have more coverage for the new weapons and magic and all that stuff so I can try, so I can just try a little bit, and maybe if it fits the build, I'll just incorporate it to the character. I tried to make this build a little bit more useful. As I tried, I went on invasions on it, which is something that I like to do. And at first it was really bad, but then I started to using a little bit of talismans, and I reallocated some of the stats, so it was more comfortable, and I feel pretty happy with what I have right now. But of course, the build is intended to progress as we explore the lands between. Uh, I am intending to make a live stream while I play the DLC. So stay tuned if you want to see more of this character and how I experience everything that the DLC will bring to us. So yeah, thanks again, guy. Thanks for watching.